Good morning. How are y'all doing? This is Barry again. Um, just taking a couple minutes because I'm waiting on some water to fill up. I got a couple minutes just to kind of show you how we're doing some of the goats with the chickens. Once again with the Premier One netting. Let me spin you around here. So we've got right now we just have two goats. We bought them more as they were more as just a gift, more as a present. We've got Princess is on the left, Caspian is on the right. They are brother and sister. Caspian is fixed. But like I said, we got them more as just pets. They were to kind of clean up some of the brush around our trees. I'll show you here, like over along the sides. They were to clean up some of that, and they have done some of that. They have kind of thinned out some of the briars and stuff around different parts of our property. What I wanted to show you is just the way we connected the fence today. I haven't been doing this. Their netting right here is only 100 foot long. I really prefer the 150 foot or putting two 100 foots together. But right now they just have the 100 foot, so we're having to move them every couple days. I've got a temporary shelter. It works. It's lightweight. They seem fine under it, although they don't lay under it a lot. Caspian tends to lay on top of it, as goats do. They like to climb things. But I just tethered it. So this one here is going around. I probably shouldn't twist this as much as I did. I had this extra connector just because I already had it out here. I just went ahead and connected it. This is probably not needed where I've got enough wire together, but I went ahead and connected it anyway. The Energizer is over there at the entrance to the compost chicks, and it will power all this netting. The goats, we've had them over a year. They really don't mess with the net. Knock on wood, we haven't had them get out. They don't escape on us. They kind of hang out wherever we put them. We move them pretty frequently. Wherever we move them, they seem pretty happy. And then at nighttime, one thing I'm not going to show you here today, is because it's a mess in there. But at nighttime, we move them into the barn. They got a pen in there they stay in during nighttime and when it's bad weather. Goats don't handle being outside as well as some other animals do. So when it's bad weather or really cold out, we'll put them back in the barn, and they do really well in there. But any chance we've got, which is the majority of the time they're out here on pasture or they're in the woods. We put them in the woods just like our pigs, and they do well. So as I was saying, had a couple minutes because I'm waiting on some water to fill up. If you hear like a high-pitched noise in the background, that's a pump running. We don't have any ponds on this property, so we've got an old, I forget what they're called, an old deer. Heck, I've done it before, where you put the minerals in the dirt and the deer will keep coming to it. I forget what that's called though, but that's where a deer mineral would be put in, and deer over time just created a bigger and bigger hole. They don't use that anymore. I don't see deer. When we didn't have the netting up here, I didn't see deer up here all that frequently anymore. So I don't think they're attracted to it anymore. But the ducks are getting in that some, but it's really muddy. So we had a little kiddie pool that we're filling up with some water so the ducks can get in some cleaner water. And then there's some of the chickens just hanging out in the shade this morning. Once again, these are barred rocks. So they're out of the, I don't know how many we've raised now, 5 or 6 different breeds of chicken. They've been my favorite. I like the barred rocks. They produce a lot of eggs, and they're pretty hardy in the winter time. They hold up to the cold really well, and they're friendly. The barred rocks have probably been our friendliest chickens that we've had. But anyway, that's all I wanted to show you, was just how we're doing some of the netting. Oh, one last thing I'll show you on the netting. Forgot to explain this. With the netting, A lot of times I will mow. I don't know how well it's picking up on camera, but I'll mow right around the edge because the hayfield, this is over a foot tall right now. This section here is. If you have that on there, it'll ground out, it'll short out your fence because you're on this netting in particular. This netting, the line's only up about 2 or 3 inches high. So if you get a lot, it can handle some, but if you get a lot of grass on there or a lot of debris, it'll short out the fence. And it doesn't like that. What I try and do is just get the perimeter set up as best as possible. I just use the mower and mow down 1 or 2 strips just for the perimeter and then leave it tall elsewhere. But that's not always the easiest thing to do either. But either way, thanks for watching and stay tuned for next time. Appreciate it.